There is something holy about silence, and most people never learn how to respect it. We live in a world where people speak before they think, where they tell everyone their story as if value can be gained by talking more. But the more you speak about your goals, your struggles, your desires, and your pain, the more you hand parts of yourself to people who did not earn that access and do not know how to protect it. Stop telling everybody what is happening in your life, because not every person listening wants to see you win. Not every smile is support. Some smiles hide envy. Some people lean in close only so they can carry your business away and repeat it in places where it will be twisted against you. Some things in life should stay protected, locked inside your spirit until they are strong enough to stand in the light. People love unfinished stories because they can interrupt them, question them, and damage them before they grow. When you speak too early, you let others step on seeds that have not even broken through the ground. The soil needs darkness, roots need time, seeds need stillness, so does your life. And if you stay with me here, you will understand why moving quietly is not weakness at all. It is power. Too many people are in a rush to announce the journey, and because of that, they forget the strength of arriving quietly and letting the results speak first. There is real power in allowing your achievements to stand on their own instead of inviting people into the early, fragile stages of your dream. Some people do not want to hurt you on purpose. They simply do not know how to carry your truth. They may care about you, but still place their fears on your path. You tell them you want to start a business, and they speak about failure. You tell them you want to love again, and they remind you of heartbreak. You tell them you are healing, and they bring up old wounds without even knowing it. They take the light of your hope and cover it with the shadow of their own worries. That is why silence has such value. Not every thought needs listeners. Not every dream needs discussion. Some things need to grow in quiet until they are strong enough to survive the noise. Listen carefully because this part matters. When your plans are still young, even one doubtful voice can shake what was beginning to bloom. So protect what is growing, not forever, just until it has roots deep enough that no opinion can pull it loose. And never underestimate envy. Envy has broken families, ruined friendships, and poisoned entire communities. It can live inside the eyes of people you trust most. It sits there quietly, smiling while you talk, while secretly measuring your progress against their own lack of movement. The moment you share what is growing in your life, envy can begin planting thorns around your garden. And thorns do not ask for permission before they choke young life. You may think you are inspiring someone, but sometimes you are waking up their insecurity. And insecurity, once stirred, can become sabotage. Not always with open attacks. Sometimes it comes through silence, through support being quietly removed, through gossip, through discouragement, through energy so heavy that it makes you question whether you even deserve the thing you are reaching for. When you tell people everything, you leave nothing protected. A life with no protected spaces becomes too exposed, too soft, too easy to wound. Privacy is not the same as secrecy. Privacy is protection. It is the fence around the garden. It is the lock on the treasure. Secrets rot in darkness, but privacy gives truth the room to develop without interference. A wise person does not fear silence. A wise person understands that silence is not emptiness. It is a shield. Silence keeps the enemy uncertain. Silence keeps the dream safe. Silence guards the heart from constant judgment. People who truly care about you do not need non-stop updates to prove the bond is real. You do not owe the world a full explanation for every choice you make. You do not need to read your life out loud for other people to consume. Many people confuse transparency with honesty, as if keeping something private means being fake. But honesty is about integrity, not exposure. You can be truthful without being an open book. You can live sincerely without sharing every page. Even the most beautiful stories are told one part at a time and never to everyone. Sometimes when you feel the urge to share, what you are really searching for is praise. You want support. You want someone to clap for you. You want reassurance that you are on the right path. But the moment your direction depends on outside approval, your spirit begins to weaken. Applause cannot hold you up during the dark nights. Validation cannot carry you through battles fought behind closed doors. Praise cannot wipe away tears nobody sees. Only faith can do that. Only persistence can do that. Only your own belief can keep you standing when the storm arrives. So let your journey be enough for you. Learn to honor yourself in silence. Learn to know your worth without needing someone else to confirm it. There are people who will use your openness against you. What you shared with trust, They will later turn into a weapon. They will wait until you stumble, then remind you of the words you once spoke with hope. They will twist your truth into something to laugh at. They will mock the same dream you once shared with a sincere heart. The fewer tools you give to those who do not wish you well, the fewer weapons they will have in their hands. Stop handing out ammunition made from your own voice. Let them wonder, let them guess, let them see only what you choose to show. Silence is not isolation. It is strength, it is wisdom, it is the ability to stand fully within yourself and know that your value does not shrink just because it is not being constantly displayed. There is dignity in living with discretion. When you move in silence, you move with mystery. When you move with mystery, you move with force. People respect what they cannot easily predict. People admire what they cannot fully access. And those who love you deeply will not need endless explanations to stay loyal. They will honor your privacy because they honor you. Your life is not a public show. It is not a stage where every moment must be performed for commentary. Your healing does not need an audience. Your wins do not need a speech. Your pain does not need a broadcast. Live in a way where your presence says more than your explanations ever could. Let your calm speak. Let your growth shine without words. Let your blessings testify for you. Time reveals what noise never can. And even in joy, be careful. Not everyone can carry the weight of your happiness. Some resent joy because it reminds them of what is missing in their own life. Some will act happy for you while quietly hoping your peace does not last. Protect your joy the way you would protect a newborn child. Keep it away from rough hands. Keep it safe from careless voices. Happiness is delicate in the beginning. It must be nurtured before it can stand strong on its own. That is why not everyone should be allowed to hold it. And even in pain, be careful. Not everyone deserves the details of your suffering. Some people listen, not to comfort you, but to feed on your weakness. Some feel better when they know you are hurting, because it makes them feel less alone in their own sadness. Guard your wounds. Heal them in safe places. Share them only with those who have proven they can carry your pain with care. Do not lay your heart open before people who do not know how to hold it gently. And if that hits you deeply, stay here, because it goes even deeper than that. When you stop telling everyone what is happening in your life, something beautiful begins to happen. You start hearing yourself more clearly. You begin trusting your own voice instead of letting it be buried under the noise of other opinions. You begin making choices from your own wisdom instead of reacting to the loud crowd around you. You begin building a life that truly belongs to you. Loud lives often look full, but inside they are empty. Noise fills a room. Silence fills a soul. So learn the discipline of being quiet. Sit with your dreams before you speak them. Hold your plans close until they are too strong to be shaken. Protect your heart like the rare jewel it is. Speak less. Live more. Share with care. Give with wisdom. Your business is your business. It is not public property. What you protect will often thrive. What you expose carelessly can fade. So stop telling people every detail of your life. Let your growth surprise them. Let your strength reveal itself in time. Let your blessings become so visible that when they finally appear, there is no need to explain where they came from. Fruit speaks for the tree. The tree does not stand there announcing that it has been growing. It simply grows. Then one day the fruit appears, and that fruit tells the whole story. Mystery earns respect in a way overexposure never can. Mystery has always carried a kind of power that cannot be touched or easily explained. When people cannot fully figure you out, they pause. They pay attention. They look at you differently. In a world obsessed with constant visibility, where people are encouraged to tell every detail before life has even finished writing the chapter, the person who holds something back creates a different energy. The person who does not reveal everything commands attention, not through noise, but through presence. Mystery is not pretending. It is not hiding your real self. It is valuing yourself enough to know that not everybody has earned the right to see your depth. When you walk into a room and do not rush to explain every thought, every plan, every intention, people become curious. They wonder what you know. They wonder what you are building. They wonder what you carry. And that curiosity creates respect that endless talking never will. Talking too much makes you easy to read, easy to predict, easy to dismiss. Silence makes you rare. It makes you memorable. It makes your words heavier when you finally choose to use them. Overexposure is like leaving a bright light on all day until nobody notices it anymore. Mystery is like the moon rising without warning. People look up. People feel something. People remember. That is the difference. When you tell everyone everything, you strip your life of its depth. People begin to feel like they know you completely. And once they feel that, they stop valuing your presence in the same way. They stop leaning in. They stop wondering. They stop expecting anything meaningful from your silence, because your silence no longer carries mystery. But when you protect parts of yourself, your presence keeps weight. That is not being cold. It is being intentional. Every treasure should be revealed with care, at the right time, to the right people. Think of the people whose words carry real power. They are rarely the ones talking nonstop about every step of their process. They are deliberate. They share when it matters. They let their work, their art, their impact speak when it is ready. That is why their words land hard. They do not throw their power everywhere. They know that revealing everything too soon weakens leverage, while holding something back creates anticipation. And anticipation is one of the roots of respect. Mystery also creates boundaries without endless explanation. You do not need to announce what you will not discuss. You simply do not discuss it. You do not need to argue for your right to privacy. Your restraint shows it. People respect what they cannot casually reach. People value what requires patience, trust, and consistency to access. When you give your life away too easily, people forget it has worth. When you protect it, they remember access to you as a privilege. Overexposure invites judgment. The more you reveal, the more material people have to criticize. The more you explain, the more chances they have to question you. The more you expose, the less sacred your own journey starts to feel, even to you. Most overexposure comes from insecurity, from the need to prove your value through constant narration. But real confidence does not need to explain itself all the time. Real confidence can stand in silence and trust that proof will come through results. Mystery gives you space to grow in peace. When you do not announce every plan, you give yourself room to change direction without an audience. You give yourself room to fail quietly, learn the lesson, and rise again without the pressure of public opinion. You allow your ideas to breathe. You protect them from being crushed by doubt disguised as advice. Growth needs privacy, and privacy survives through mystery. People cannot interfere with what they do not know. They cannot weaken what they cannot touch. And there is beauty in keeping some part of yourself whole. When you are not spilling every thought and emotion onto every surface, you keep something for yourself. You learn to sit with your own heart until it becomes clear. You stop rushing to speak before your mind and spirit are settled. That gives you strength. That gives you dignity. That gives you peace no outsider can shake. Watch closely, because this shift changes everything. When you become too open, you begin living for reactions instead of truth. But when you honor mystery, you begin living for truth alone. You understand that the right time will always come for what needs to be revealed. Respect is not demanded, it is earned. And often it is earned by what you choose not to give away. A diamond is not lying on the ground where everyone can kick it aside. It is hidden deep, discovered through effort. Its value comes not only from beauty, but from rarity. Your dreams, your heart, your inner life are the same. If you scatter them everywhere, people will treat them like common stones. If you guard them, people will feel their worth. Mystery adds weight to your presence. It tells people without a single speech that you value yourself, that you are not begging for attention, that you live with purpose. Overexposure says the opposite. It tells people you need to be seen, that you cannot sit quietly with yourself, that your worth depends on how much of your life others consume. Desperation may attract attention, but it never attracts reverence. Mystery also draws attention, but differently. It draws people with respect, with curiosity, with a feeling that there is more beneath the surface. And that deeper part should only be known by those you truly trust. Even in friendship and closeness, this matters more than people realize. Not everything valuable should be poured out all at once. Real love respects privacy instead of demanding nonstop access. Love that is genuine does not try to enter every hidden room inside you. It does not strip you of the sacred places that belong only to your soul. Every person has inner rooms meant for reflection, healing, and quiet conversation with themselves. To love someone is not to demand ownership of every thought, memory, and silence. It is to honor the boundaries that protect their wholeness. A person who truly loves you does not measure your care by how much you confess. They understand that privacy is not rejection. It is dignity. Many people confuse love with control. They believe closeness must mean full exposure, as if devotion can only be proven by opening every door all the time. But intimacy without respect becomes suffocation. Intimacy without discretion becomes imbalance. Love that insists you must always explain yourself is not healthy love. It is possession dressed up like care. Real love gives you room to breathe. It allows you to pull back when needed. It allows you to carry some dreams quietly, without interrogation. The one who loves you well does not become suspicious every time you are quiet. They understand silence can be part of strength. They know some things can be shared later, and some things may remain yours alone. That kind of love does not break your spirit, it protects it. And if you have ever felt pressured to reveal everything just to keep peace, then you already know how heavy false love can feel. Privacy inside love is not dishonesty. It is spiritual protection. To keep parts of yourself private is to protect your individuality, to remain whole even while giving your heart to another person. Real love does not see that as a threat. It sees it as beauty. Two people are meant to come together, not disappear into each other until nothing separate remains. Love that demands full access at all times slowly destroys respect. But love that honors your privacy deepens respect because it recognizes that you are more than what is visible, more than what can be spoken in a single moment. When someone loves you with care, they do not attack your silences. They do not demand every detail of your past, every fear in your mind, every shadow crossing your heart. Instead, they create safety so you can share when you are ready. They let trust unfold naturally. That is what makes love strong. It removes the pressure to perform transparency and replaces it with freedom. It builds trust in a way overexposure never can. When a person does not pressure you, you feel safer opening up. When they do not accuse, you feel freer to speak. When they do not turn your quiet into a crime, your heart relaxes. That is real closeness. Sharing becomes a choice, not a duty. And in that choice, intimacy becomes beautiful instead of forced. Not every detail of a relationship should be taken outside of it. Some things lose their sacredness the moment they are turned into public discussion. And now we come to something just as important. Let your results speak louder than your announcements. In this world, words are everywhere, but proof is rare. Many people talk about what they plan to do, who they want to become, what they hope to build. Far fewer let action do the speaking. Announcements make noise. Results make impact. Announcements ask for attention. Results earn respect. Announcements can disappear into air. Results become reality. The loudest promises often come from people who have not built anything yet, while the people who are truly building know that progress grows best in silence until the work is ready to be seen. There is something undeniable about achievement when it finally stands in front of people. No speech can replace that. When you announce too much too early, you create pressure you were never meant to carry. The moment you tell everyone your plans, you invite eyes to watch, voices to judge, and doubt to enter what was once a pure connection between you and your vision. Some people will clap, others will wait for you to fail, some will encourage you, others will secretly hope you stumble. But when your results arrive without warning, your life answers every critic without you saying a word. The outcome becomes your message. The proof becomes your defense. The work becomes the voice. That is why quiet builders so often outgrow loud dreamers. It is natural to want to share your plans because sharing feels good for a moment. It makes you feel seen. It makes you feel supported. Sometimes it even tricks you into feeling as if you have already achieved something. And that is the danger. The praise you receive for announcing a dream can replace the inner fire needed to actually finish the work. You can become attached to approval instead of discipline. That is why so many people make big declarations and then never follow through. They got the emotional reward before doing the labor. But when you keep your plans close, you save your energy for the real task. You protect your focus. You keep your hunger. Then, when the result finally appears, the satisfaction is real because it is earned. Silent work also teaches patience. It teaches you how to trust the process without constant reassurance. It teaches you how to suffer through setbacks without turning every hard moment into a public performance. It teaches you how to keep going because you believe, not because others are clapping. There is something almost sacred about results that arrive without fanfare. They surprise the doubters. They humble the people who underestimated you. They inspire those who had no idea you were even building something. You do not need to tell people how hard you are working when the work becomes visible. You do not need to explain your growth when your life reveals it. And once you understand that, you stop wasting breath trying to convince people who were never ready to believe you anyway. Look at a tree. It does not announce that it is growing. It does not explain every root going deeper into the soil or every branch stretching in silence. It grows quietly. It is fed by unseen work. Then one season, the fruit appears, and nobody can deny that growth has happened. The tree never had to speak for itself. The fruit did that. Your life should move in the same way. Grow quietly, build privately, stay disciplined behind the scenes, and when your season comes, the result will be clear enough that no explanation is needed. There is humility in this way of living too. When you stop announcing everything, you escape the trap of showing off. You stop centering attention and start centering discipline. Humility keeps your eyes on the work instead of the applause. And when the result finally comes, people admire not just what you built, but the quiet strength you carried while building it. Over-announcing can also make people silently root against you. Human nature has dark corners. If you speak too boldly too early, you can wake envy in people who were fine until your words touch their insecurity. They may never say it out loud, but they will watch for cracks. They will wait for disappointment. Silence protects you from that. Silence starves envy. Results humble it. And once the fruit is already hanging on the branch, nobody can stop it from being seen. This truth matters in relationships too. Promises mean little without action. A person can say they love you, but if their behavior does not show care, those words are empty. A person can talk about loyalty, but if their actions keep breaking trust, the speech means nothing. Commitment is measured by consistent action, not by loud declaration. That is why results speak louder in love just as much as they do in life. People may forget what was said, but they remember what was done. Keeping your plans quiet also protects your spirit from unnecessary criticism. Words invite opinions. The moment you announce your dream, people start handing you their fears. They remind you of risk. They point to failure. They project their limits onto your path. If you let that happen enough, those voices can wrap around your ankles like chains. But when you move quietly, you move free. You stay guided by conviction instead of commentary. Then one day the work is finished, the proof is standing there, and suddenly all those opinions lose their power. Even your own self-respect grows this way. Telling yourself what you will do means little if you never do it. Real confidence is built through kept promises to yourself. Every finished step strengthens trust in your own ability. Every result becomes evidence that you are capable, resilient, and worthy. Over time, that proof becomes stronger than motivation. It becomes identity. And that is when you stop needing to speak so much, because your life has learned how to speak for you.